I arrived in Innsmouth at dusk, when the sky takes on that sickly greenish cast, like a bruise trying to heal. The bus didn't wait for me to step clear before grinding away, leaving exhaust and silence behind. No birds, no wind, just the slow, sour breath of the sea rolling in from somewhere beyond the rotting warehouses. The farmhouse sat at the very edge of town, leaning away from the marsh, as if trying to escape. 6 people had lived there. 6 people had died. The official reports were thin, nervous things. Possible stalker, possible ritual elements, suspect unknown. Innsmouth had a way of thinning facts until only dread remained. I told myself I was here for answers. The front door groaned when I pushed it open. Not a dramatic creak, worse than that, a low, tired sound, like the house resented being woken. Dust hung in the air, thick enough to taste. Salt and rot coated my tongue. I stepped inside and shut the door behind me. The quiet settled immediately. Too immediately. My flashlight beam slid across peeling wallpaper and warped floorboards. Furniture remained where it had been left, as if the family might return at any moment. Chairs pulled out, a cup still on the table, cloudy with age. No sign of a struggle. That bothered me more than blood ever could have. The first sound came from upstairs, a soft, rhythmic thump. I froze, listening. The sound stopped, replaced by the distant creak of timbers adjusting to the night. I told myself that was all it was, an old house breathing. Still, I checked my watch. 8:14 p.m. Too early for nerves. I moved room to room, narrating under my breath, like a habit I couldn't break. Kitchen, pantry, back door nailed shut from the inside. That's when I noticed the smell. Not decay, something older, briny, like low tide trapped in wood. The staircase groaned under my weight as I climbed. Halfway up, my light caught movement at the edge of the beam, a shape slipping back into darkness. I spun, heart hammering, but the hallway was empty. I laughed once, sharp and humorless. "Get it together," I muttered. The bedrooms were worse. Beds neatly made, closets open, mirrors turned to face the walls. Every instinct screamed that the family hadn't done that themselves. In the master bedroom, I found marks on the floor, drag lines, shallow but deliberate, leading to the far wall. I followed them with the light. The wall bulged, not visibly, subtly, as if it were breathing. I stepped back just as a faint tapping began from inside it. 3 taps. Pause. 3 taps again. A pattern. My radio crackled to life on my belt, hissing with static. Then, beneath it, a voice. Not words, just wet, whispering sounds that made my skin crawl. I ripped the radio off and threw it onto the bed. The whispering continued. It wasn't coming from the radio. It was coming from me. I clamped my mouth shut, hands shaking. The whispering stopped. That's when I understood. This wasn't a stalker. This wasn't even a killer. The farmhouse wasn't the crime scene. It was the cocoon. Memories surfaced that weren't mine. Or maybe they were. Dreams of dark water, of shapes moving beneath waves, of Innsmouth faces watching me with knowing eyes as I arrived in town. The wall split open with a sound like tearing kelp. Behind it was a narrow passage, slick and black, descending into the earth. The tapping came from below now, urgent, welcoming. I backed toward the door, but my feet wouldn't obey. My reflection stared at me from the darkened window, eyes too wide, skin too pale, mouth twitching with that same whispering hunger. The family hadn't been murdered. They had been prepared. I ran. The house screamed as I fled, beams warping, walls shuddering like something enormous turning in its sleep. I burst through the front door and didn't stop until the road burned my lungs and the farmhouse vanished behind the fog. I'm writing this from a motel miles away. I haven't slept. Every time I close my eyes, I hear tapping. 3 slow knocks, patient as the tide. Innsmouth didn't want me to investigate. It wanted me to remember. And I don't know how much longer I can resist answering.